Hi and welcome to this DCP web tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a drag and glass shader using Blender 2.8. So let's open up Blender. We can take a look at the shader. This is all created directly in Blender and we use this different techniques here to create this simple sort of glass shader, but I thought it looked pretty cool. It's got these black streaks going through it. You can change the color from purple to a different color, and then we've got some sunlights going on here to give us all of these glows and this coloration on this object. So we're going to create something similar to this. So let's minimize Blender and open up a new Blender file. So like usual, we'll click on General here. We'll click the cube and delete it. So select it and then hit the delete button. Click on the light source and also delete that as well. We'll pan around to the side and press Shift A and insert a UV sphere. We'll set the size or the scale to 5 on the X, the Y and the Z axis. So we've got this sphere here now. We'll go to the modifier, add a modifier, and we want a subsurface division here. And we'll set the view to 3 and we'll set the render to 3. We'll click apply. So now we've got this nice sphere. We'll right click on it and shade smooth as well. Then we'll go to file, save as, and on my desktop I've got a folder, so let's call this Dragon Glass Shader. So give your file a sensible name and save that to in a folder on your desktop. We'll click save. The next thing we'll do is go to the shading here. When we're in shading, we're going to use the look dev temporarily, and we will click on new here because we need to create a new material for this particular object. And we will, you don't need to do this, I'm going to drag it to the side a bit here. Let me drag it up a little here just so that you can see the editor down here a bit clearer. And the first thing we'll do is add a color ramp. So we'll press Shift A and we want to insert a color ramp under converter, color ramp here. Then we'll press Shift A and go to texture, and we want a wave texture here. And then press Shift A one more time and we want to go to vector bump here. So we've got these three elements here. We'll connect the factor here to the factor here. Sorry, to the height here. So this factor to the height. We'll connect the color to the factor here. We'll connect the color to the base color here like this. So we've basically got this simple shaped object now, or this material. So the first thing we want to do is change the rings, change bands here to rings, and we will change the scale to -1.3. -1.3 on the scale. The distortion, we're going to set it to 38.30, or actually it'll be 39.8. So now you can start to see the ripples going through it. And the detail will set to 5.5. Now you can see the sort of texture that we're getting, this sort of effect on the sphere. So the next thing we'll do is set the strength of the bump map. So we'll set that to 0.23. Set that to 0.23, and then the distance we'll set to 4.8, like this. And we need to connect this normal to the normal here. Okay, now we will we'll change it from linear to ease, and then we'll change the color here. So click on the white handle here and change it to any color you like. Maybe we'll stick with the purple sort of color, and then we'll change that afterwards and see what it looks like. Let's go to file, save, and then let's set the metallic all the way up to the top. Turn off the specular and set the roughness to 0.120. So now you can see that sort of style we're getting, similar to what I had in my example. We just need to change the actual HDRI image, and then we'll get something more closer to what I had. So let's go ahead and do that now. So these settings are pretty much done. It's quite easy to set up. Let's go to the world settings here. So now we're in the world settings. Let's press Shift A and search for. So Shift A and click on the search here and type in back for background. click that and drag it down here. Then we will press Shift A and insert a mix shader and plug that into in between here. Then connect this background to the bottom here. Then we will set the color here to black, and that will give us a black background afterwards. We'll press Shift A and insert an environmental texture here and connect that to the color here. We'll press Shift A one more time, and we want a, let's see, a vector mapping here. Let's make a little bit more space. We'll press B to box select, then G to group them, and then we can move them all in one go. So let's just select them, press G, and then we can move them all across. Just want to try and make a little bit more space for you here, just so you can see. Let's press Shift A, and we want to input. We want an input texture coordinate. Then finally Shift A, and we want a light path here. So let's connect the generator to the vector here, this vector to this vector here, and then lastly the is camera array. We'll connect that to the factor here. Now we've got our HDRI map set up. We can click on open, but before we open we need to download the HDRI map. So we'll open up this folder and go into this folder here, and we'll download this map. So let's open up our browser and we'll go to HDRI Haven. We'll scroll down and click on Browse 200. I'm going to download the usual map I download, so we'll go to the night here, and I'm going to click on this one here, and I'll put a link to this HDRI map in the YouTube description, but do download some other ones and test them out as well. In fact, we'll download two, so we'll click this one and I'll put a link to that in the YouTube description, and we'll download one other one as well just to test. So let's take something like let's have a look in midday. Let's try this one here, and we'll download this one as well, and I'll put a link to that in the YouTube description for you as well. So we'll drag both those HDRI maps into this folder. So we've got two of them now. Let's close this and close this. Let's go back to our Blender file, and we'll click the open button. We'll go into here and we'll click on this first one, the room one, and we'll open it. Then we can go to our render view, and now we'll start to see that sort of glass effect on there, right? This dragon glass style. Let's click on the other one. So let's click open, and we'll click on the Shanghai one and click open on that. This one had a bit more color in it, some color variations. I think this one works better. And in the actual world settings for this particular HDRI map, I set them to the X to 2. Then I set the Y, I left that on 1, and then the Z I put that to -1. Now you can start to see those colors come through. The next thing we want to do is just add a little bit of lighting in here. So let's go to the layout, and in the layout we want to go back to our render view here, and the first thing we'll do is add a sunlight, right? So let's press Shift A to insert a light, which will be a sunlight. Then let's click on the move tool and let's just drag that above the object, and then we'll go to its settings here. For the sunlight, we're going to set that to like an orangey sort of yellow color, something like this. And then let's see, it should be correct. And then we want to set one to the side as well, so that one will press in fact, really what we need to do is go into render here and turn on the bloom. So we need to turn bloom on, so make sure that's on here, and let's just double check the settings here. So the threshold, we turn that all the way off. This will turn down to around 2.7, something like that. The radius will set to 3.4, and the intensity will turn that all the way up. Now we can start to get that sort of glow effect coming off this object. We'll press Shift A one more time and insert a different sunlight. And this one will drag to the left hand side over here, and we're going to rotate it. So we're going to rotate so it's hitting the side of the object. So to rotate it on the Z axis, right, Z, so here's the rotation on Z, and we're going to rotate it around 90 degrees. 90 degrees, so it's facing and hitting the side of this object. And then we'll click on that sunlight, click on here, and we're going to change it to like a blue sort of color, some type of blue color. And then you can experiment with the sort of intensity on these. You can change the radius as well a little bit, but we can increase or decrease that to affect how that looks, right? So you can see some blues coming through here now. If we set that to 0, you can see there's no blue now. So we set that to, like, originally I set it to 10, so there's just a little bit of blue coming through on the object. So that's pretty much it done. There is one other nice thing that you can do, and what you can do, before we do anything, let's save this. We'll turn off the overlays for a minute so we can just see the object itself. I think it's looking pretty good. The one thing that you can do is go to the object, actually click on the sphere here, and then go to the material here, and then in the material you can turn on screen space refractions and then set it to additive, and then make sure the back face is turned on, and then it's almost, now it's pretty much the same object but it's see-through. You can actually see right through to the other side of the object. If you turn the back face off, then you kind of get this effect. So you can experiment with this now and play around with the settings. I kind of like it see-through like this, it looks pretty cool. You can really test to see if it's see-through by pressing Shift A and insert something like a square object, for example a cube. Now you can see the cube inside the object and it's hollow, see-through like this. And I think that's pretty cool. You could put another sort of sphere inside, maybe that's got a different material applied to it. You can do some really sort of cool stuff. I'm going to press Ctrl Z to undo that sphere, the cube, and then we're pretty much done. If you don't like that, just turn off the screen space refractions, turn off the back face and set it back to opaque, and then you'll be back to the original shader. So that's it all done. Try and experiment with this shader. You can go into the shading settings here, go back to the object data and change this color. You can change it from purple to pretty much any color you want. You can start experimenting with the colors here and get some really nice effects depending on what sort of color you choose. Kind of like the blue as well. The blue looks pretty cool, and you can add more colors by clicking here and then selecting a different color. Then you can get blues and reds sort of mixed together through the object. Probably be better to select like two sort of blue colors, or blue and green would work pretty well together, or a yellow, maybe sort of a blue and a green will work. You can add multiple colors into here as well, and now you can see like this blue sort of with the green. I think that looks pretty cool as well. So let's go to File, Save. That's the end of this tutorial, so we'll close this down. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you on the next DCP Wave tutorial.